Hello from Finoptio. In this video, we're going to learn about the second component of wealth credit. Let's not forget why we're learning about the specifics of wealth, one by one. We are studying to understand wealth in a very specific way and to find the means to build it. Let's start with a definition of credit. When we talk about credit, we're referring to people's expectation that a particular person has a scarce value that will contribute positively to a particular society. Let's think of Warren Buffett. What kind of credibility does Warren Buffett have? First of all, he operates in a particular society called the capital market. And he is a major contributor to the process of bringing undervalued stocks back to fair value. His actions are driven by self-interest, but his actions contribute to the efficiency of capital markets. And in making that contribution, we all know that he is of very rare value. Because we all know the success story of his company, Berkshire Hathaway, which has a market capitalization of over $1 trillion. Many people trust him to do his best to manage Berkshire Hathaway's money until the end of his life. Everyone believes that he is sincere about developing a successor who will use the same mechanisms to manage the money. This is the kind of trust that Warren Buffett has. We believe it is the root of wealth. What is the mechanism by which credit works to create wealth, and why do we say it is the root of wealth? To find out, let's play a fun game of imagination. Many people think that the root of wealth is the size of your net worth. So they look to net worth to determine if someone is rich or not. If this were true, then if you took away all the net worth of the wealthy, their wealth would quickly collapse. If you take away all of their net worth and their wealth doesn't crumble, then their net worth is just a small branch on the tree of wealth. Small branches can be broken, but they grow back quickly. Let's imagine a fun scenario where we take away all the net worth of people with very large net worths. In the process, you'll realize what the branches of the tree of wealth are and what the roots are. Let's take away the net worth of world-famous investor Warren Buffett, singer-songwriter Taylor Swift, and a fictional lottery winner, Mr. A. What would happen? Would some people keep their wealth and others not? First, let's take away all the assets of Warren Buffett, a world-renowned investor. Now he's lost everything. His stake in Berkshire Hathaway, the cash he has, the stocks he owns, the house he lives in, all gone. Will he now live in poverty for the rest of his life? Most likely not. All he has to do is say a few words to a reporter and he could quickly find himself back in a position of unimaginable wealth for the average person. I see a lot of undervalued stocks. Now is the time to invest. Those who believe in me, please invest in the company I'm going to build. All you have to do is say these few words to a reporter. Many people will be lining up to invest in Warren Buffett after hearing the news from the reporter. Because, as I explained earlier, he has a worldwide credit as a master investor. A huge company is going to be built with a lot of investors' money. And as the head of that company, Warren Buffett will receive a huge salary, incentives, and stock options. In the blink of an eye, he's amassed wealth beyond the reach of the average person. When you take away his net worth, his wealth remains the same, showing that for Warren Buffett, net worth is just a branch on the tree of wealth. No matter how many branches you cut off, as long as the roots are alive, they will sprout back. So, if you want to stop Warren Buffett's wealth, you have to get rid of the root of his wealth, his credit. Let's say Warren Buffett spoke at length at the annual Berkshire Hathaway shareholder meeting, saying things that no one understood. What would happen to him? All credibility that he would make the best choices in the capital markets would disappear. And with that credit gone, his control over Berkshire Hathaway, which is arguably the single largest vehicle for making Warren Buffett wealthy, would be gone. It's not just about being the legal majority shareholder. No one at Berkshire Hathaway will listen to Warren Buffett. Once he loses control of Berkshire Hathaway's more than $1 trillion in total assets, his wealth will diminish dramatically. People may be skeptical that Warren Buffett's wealth will suddenly disappear just because his expectations are gone. It's important to remember that we defined wealth in our last video as the ability to consistently have what you want when you want it. Buffett, who lost control of Berkshire Hathaway amid allegations of impaired judgment due to aging, is not the wealthy man he once was. Unlike when he had control over Berkshire Hathaway's $1 trillion in assets, he is no longer free to buy stakes in any company he wants. He'll have to listen to his doctor's nagging, even when he's eating his favorite burger and Coke. There are many reasons why he still holds shareholder meetings in person at the age of 90, but I suspect it's to maintain his credibility by letting everyone know he's alive and well. In other words, Buffett's wealth comes from a root of credit. Net worth is only a small part of the story. Is the idea that credit is the root of wealth only true for businessmen and investors like Warren Buffett? Let's take a look at American singer-songwriter Taylor Swift and strip away her net worth. Would she end up living in poverty, unlike Warren Buffett? Most likely not. Even if all of her net worth is gone, she still has credit. What is Taylor Swift's credit? Taylor Swift is active in the global music marketplace. Many people find her lyrics relatable and comforting. Everyone knows that Taylor Swift does a better job than anyone else at relating to the masses, providing comfort and delivering positive messages. Her history proves it. People trust that Taylor Swift will never change and will continue to sing for the public and her fans. This credibility is the root of her wealth. As long as this root remains intact, even if all of her net worth were to disappear, she would not be poor. All she has to do is create another album that resonates with the public and her fans and brings them comfort. Everyone knows that this album will be a success once it reaches the masses. So you and I will want to participate in the process of distributing it and profit from it. In the process, Taylor Swift will once again become instantly wealthy beyond the reach of the average person. You can't make her poor by just taking away her net worth. You can only make her poor by taking away the credit she has. She has been involved in all kinds of controversies, incidents, and accidents as a superstar, but she is still going strong. Because everyone knows that she loves her fans and her desire to comfort the public is genuine. In fact, she tries to never lose the credibility she has by inviting the families of fans who have died at her concerts to VIP seats at her next concert. Getting rid of this credit would make Taylor Swift poorer. Imagine that Taylor Swift is recorded criticizing the family of someone who died at one of her concerts. Immediately, she would lose all her wealth, unlike in the past when she maintained her popularity through many controversies. Because no matter what she releases a song about, the public will not be able to recognize the sincerity in it. So far, we've seen that the foundation of Warren Buffett's and Taylor Swift's wealth is credit. Their wealth remains solid as long as their credit remains solid. But let's take a look at someone who didn't build their wealth on credit. Let's take away all of the net worth of a fictional lottery winner, Mr. A. What would happen to him? Mr. A wins the lottery and has $10 million in cash. But he had no credit with society prior to winning the lottery. He wasn't making any positive contributions to society or possessing any scarce value that made him better than anyone else. Let's take away all of this person's net worth. Would he bounce back like Warren Buffett or Taylor Swift? Very likely not. With no creditworthiness, it is highly unlikely that he will ever live a wealthy life again. With nothing to contribute to this society does not provide him with wealth. Let's summarize. We defined affluence as the state of being able to get what you want, when you want it, consistently. People like Warren Buffett and Taylor Swift are very wealthy because they grew a tree of wealth based on credit. Because no matter what happens, as long as they have good credit, they have access to tons of cash at a moment's notice. Their wealth is very sustainable. On the other hand, people whose wealth is not built on credit are very vulnerable. Lottery winners, gamblers who make a fortune from very risky investments, heirs who inherit large amounts of money without the proper education, criminals who make a fortune from crime, etc. are all examples of people who have built wealth without credit. So, in order to build wealth with credit, we need to find our own specific answers to the following questions. What kind of society do you want to contribute to? What kind of society is a good society, and what contribution can I make to move towards a good society? What are my scarce values that make that contribution possible, and how can I develop those scarce values? How can I communicate my idea of a good society, the positive contribution I want to make, and my scarce value to others? Finding your own specific answers to these 4 questions is the path to true, sustainable wealth. If you're not wealthy enough to be satisfied yet, chances are you don't have specific, personalized answers to these 4 questions yet. Today you learned about the second of the 4 building blocks of wealth credit. In the next video, you'll learn about the third component, leverage. If you liked today's video, please subscribe to the Finoptio channel, and don't forget to visit our website via the first comment or channel information. You can find more educational content there. Thank you.